I want to introduce my good friend Kiha. For the last 10 years we've been doing this. We met at the training for this and we've become really close friends ever since. Kiha is from Kaneohe. Where's Kaneohe? Right here, right? Went to school here, went to Kamehameha, three-sport athlete at Kamehameha. He was blessed enough to go to Stanford, first person in your family to go to college. Yeah. So he's called a first generation. My dad was a janitor at Stanford. He got in during the Depression, so he was one of the first ones. So it's a blessing. Kiha walked on at Stanford football and got a full scholarship due to some of these principles we're going to discuss tonight. He caught passes from John Elway. Anybody hear of John Elway? What's he famous for? Yeah, bullets, man. There's a cross right on Kiha's chest. Anybody remember the play? The team is on the field against Cal, and the band rain on the field during the play, right? And Cal won, right, Kiha? You're on the field. Kiha was on the field. He runs a construction company building homes for local people. And in fact, my wife's got him remodeling my bathroom right now. So why aren't you out in my house working? No. But we're really glad to be here, and I want to give it up for my friend Kiha. Can we get the screen up? Go through the Stanford Positive Coaching Alliance workshop, and it's about being a triple impact competitor. Hold up 3 fingers. You're going to take care of yourself. Poor thing, you have to chase me around, huh? Sorry, brother. You're going to take care of your team, and you're going to take care of this game of life. Good with that? Yes. Okay. So let me just, how many of you played sports at some point in your life? Okay, what I want you to do is when I say go, you're going to get up, find somebody you don't know too well, meet with them, and talk about who is the most awesome coach you had and why. Okay? Can you do that? Ready, set, go. Get up, find somebody you don't know.
Hey, Carrie. Why was she positive? She never gave up on her. Went off the event, and she always tried it. So she needed to go back and learn why her coach was good. Yeah, I always remember that. That's good. That's a good coach. That's a good coach. My sister's been a coach. Yeah, she taught basketball and volleyball. She got her degree in teaching, and then when she moved to Tillamook to be with her girlfriend, and her girlfriend's also a coach. And so my sister taught special ed, but my sister and girlfriend go to games.
Did you hear my voice clap one time? Did you hear my voice clap 2 times? Give your partner a high five and grab a seat. Aloha. Aloha. It is a privilege to be with you tonight. I got to tell you, I walked on to this property. I'd never been here before, and I told Jeff, this feels like a monastery. And I mean that in the very best way, and I've been to some monasteries. It's a holy place here. It's a sacred place. I'm loving how people look at me when I say hi. I love the way they grab my hand, they look right into my eye and tell me their names. I gotta tell you, that's rare. Thank you very much for greeting me, welcoming me and Judge Town together. We want to hear about some of the answers you guys came up with just now. You heard from each other. I'd like for a few of you to share out either what you shared or what you might have heard your partner say about who that person was. Would you do that? Yes, please. Thank you very much.
She just shared about her coach being very firm on them and making them move forward.
Nice and loud.
Very firm, the coach.
Okay, so can you tell me that person's name? Do you know who that was?
Melissa, she said Uncle Homer.
Okay, Melissa said Uncle Homer was firm with her And what was the other one? Firm and?
I guess help them move forward.
And help her move forward. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Another? Yes.
One thing that Reina said was that her coach helped her through personalizing it, taking time out to personally help her and coach her and push her.
Personalizing it, helping her, pushing her. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Someone else? Yes.
I said I shared about my surf coach. His name is Dave Grillo. He lives in the North Shore. He's the same coach to Coach Andy and Bruce Irons. He always used to get on us, like when we were doing good, he'd be like, come on, you can do better than that. We know you can. But I would just pick us up and try to go to another level.
So he encouraged you.
Yeah, encourage us.
Did that work?
Yep.
He didn't smash it out, he encouraged you. Thank you, brother.
You guys are going to hear tonight about what it is to be a sponge, what it is to be a teachable sponge, to be a teachable spirit, just to be able to absorb what people are giving you, like you are tonight, like right now. You know, it's a blessing for us to be able to talk with you and to have everybody like on the learning team tonight, like really ready to hear it. I love that. We also have seen that if you're a sponge, you know, there's a time when you soak it all up, but you can't soak anymore. So how do you learn more if you're like full up on a sponge? What can you do? Yes?
Give it away.
Give it away. So I just read that here, right? You can't keep it unless you give it away. So my question to you is, you just have told us about some of the coaches that you had yourselves. And they're able to keep it because they're giving it away to you. My question is, when I ask your children, or your children's children, or your nieces and nephews, or the people that you come in contact with 20 years from now, will they be remembering you? Will they be remembering you because you gave it away?
Herm Edwards calls that the book of life. Anybody know Herm Edwards? Great coach, and he's on TV now. There's a book of life in his and mine, Kiha's world. Because we're people of faith, there's a book of life. And when that book is written, what are they going to say about you? What will you have given away? It's a great thing. And what's to whom? This group, family, friends, community. Okay? Jump over that one. Okay, we're giving you the triple impact competitor out of Stanford. I personalized it for you all a little bit. I also want to say, I just want to give a little bit of praise to my friend Jeff. He wrote me a letter maybe 10 years ago because I had said in court, I don't want to hear you're sick on drugs or mentally ill. I want to hear you made a bad choice, and because you made a bad choice, you're going to amend your ways. You know what I mean? And Jeff wrote me a letter that was amazing, that when he heard that long time ago, way before he heard it from me, it was like a weight lifted off him. Is it okay if I talk about that? A weight lifted off of him, because he's told most of his life, you're stupid, you're stoned, you're crazy, take drugs, take legal doctor drugs, right? And he felt he'd been liberated. I'm old school. That's how I came from. Accountability, right, brother? What was your name again? Hoku. Hoku told me that. That's liberating. So we're going to teach this course. Kiha and I were raised up like that. Accountability. Can you say accountability? Accountability. Oh, okay. We're out of Stanford. We got two goals. We love to win. We all want to win in life. You're not going to win all the time. When you play a game, one wins, one loses. But it's how you play it. Everybody's a winner, right? Right. And you learn about yourself in life. It's the life lessons we're learning together. So even at my age, 70, you're going to keep learning. Okay, I need someone to read this nice and loud. Do we need a mic for that? Who wants to read? You want to read it? Where's my mic here? Wait. What's your name? Crystal. Speak into the mic.
Sports can do so much. They've given me a framework. Meeting new people, confidence, self-esteem, discipline, motivation. All these things I learned, whether I knew I was learning them or not, through sports.
Who wrote it? Remember Mia Hamm? Olympian, right? Thank you, Crystal. I'm glad you read that. But the most important character educator in America for most kids and young adults and even us older ones are coaches. Parents are important, but coaches, because the life lessons on the field. We kept going with Kiha. Who is your most impressive coach?
A guy named Mike Joy. He was a policeman. And he's a guy that wasn't afraid to tell me he loved me. He was a guy that talked about what it is to be in harmony with my surroundings, especially on the football field, but in everything, in the classroom, with my family. We'd have these deep discussions. And it seemed like that was even more important than football.
Good. My coach, my best coach was Ray Lenny, professional boxer. He said, Mike, you're going to get stretched out. You're going to get flat in your back during boxing season. It's whether you get back up and answer the bell, right, Hoku? We all get stretched out. You're going to get a bloody nose. It's not about that. It's about getting back up and answering the bell. So that's what we're here about. I believe life is a journey, not a series of events, if you will. It's this journey that we're on, and we're going to talk a lot about that. We're going to move right along. Okay, Kiha, you want to take this one?
All right, this is going to be fun.
This is Olympic.
We want you to, first of all, let's do it this way. Have you think of a person who is a competitor. You think yourself of somebody that has a competitive attitude, in the best way, competitive attitude. Some hero in sports it could be somebody you played with, it could be somebody you played for. So think about that person for a second. Everybody got one? All right, so then now I want you to think about why. Why is that person a competitor? Could be, he has a great work ethic, or could be, she was giving great effort all the time, whatever those reasons are. All right, now I want you to put up your right hand. Put up your right hand. Give one person a high five. One person a high five. There might be some of you who don't have this. Somebody doesn't have a partner, right? Somebody doesn't have a partner. You can go to threes. So here's what you're going to do. With your partner, your high five partner, you can do this together. You need a partner? Okay, you got one. Here's what you're going to do is, there are 4 pictures up on the wall. It's a little bit hard to see from back here. That's why I got glasses. Top left, there are some 2 girls that are fighting in basketball.
That's Olympic basketball.
Top right, I've got another couple of guys that were playing basketball. Bottom left is looks like Mexico in soccer, and then bottom right is a couple of football players. So I want between you and your partner to decide which of the 4 pictures, I want you to only choose one, which of the 4 pictures best describes competitor to you? Which picture best describes competitor to you? All right, hang on now. So you're going to talk about it in a second, and then I'm going to have you vote with your feet. You got to agree now. And this is how we're going to do it. This is how to do it. Listen to my direction before we go. So if you like the top left corner, I love that you guys are anxious and ready to go. If you're in the top left corner, then I want you to vote with your feet. I want you to stand in that front corner. Right? If you
not a trick question.
If you like the top right corner, then I want you to stand kind of in this area over here. If you like the bottom left corner where the girls from Mexico, then I want you to kind of stand in this area over here. In the bottom right, you're going to be over here. So, yeah, top right is going to be kind of in this area, right where the fields, maybe right in where the seats are. Okay, so ready, go.
I don't think that's what we're at. But the bottom right, I'll go with you. Okay. That corner?
Okay, great job making your way to the corner. I'm going to give you 5 more seconds. So I'm going to say again, if you like the top left-hand corner, you're going to be in that corner where Hoku guys are. On the top right corner, you're going to be in that area. Bottom right, you're over here. Bottom left, you're here. All right, face the people in your group. Face the people in your group. Listen to this carefully. I'm only going to say it once. On the count of 3, I want you to point to your spokesperson. 1, 2, 3.
John Moore.
Okay, so you have a spokesperson now?
Scott. You got it, Scott.
So your spokesperson, here's what you want to do. Have your spokesperson, is it okay, Jeff, for me to have them stand on a chair? Okay, your spokesperson, would you stand on a chair, please? Here we go. This is how it's going to go. We now have 4 attorneys. Can you give a hand for these attorneys? This is what's happening. These attorneys, listen to them. They're going to be persuasive. They're going to be full of excitement and energy so that they're going to persuade you in another corner to hear their case. And if they're persuasive enough, you may go and join that corner. You hear? They're going to explain why their group chose that corner. What were the reasons why they say that top left corner is the best example of competitor, or why the bottom right hand corner is the best example of competitor. Who wants to be first, attorneys? There you go, there you go. Thank you very much. Would you please, there you go.
Couple, right? Yep. Go get him. Okay.
Thank you for giving him great attention. I love it. Thank you so much.
So, first of all, with respect to all the other sports shown up on the screen, the reason why we went with our choice was because it shows a different level of being an athlete. There seems to be some compassion there, and within that team unity, the 2 athletes there, it looks like they're overcoming something. One is encouraging the next, and they're both walking away from a situation that they look like they're ready to overcome.
How about a hand for this attorney? So compassion, they're overcoming. We love it, right? That's one definition of competitor on that side. Ready to go? Yep. There you go.
All right, the reason why my group over here, we chose soccer because with all respect, like Capo said, for all the sports, you know, basketball, football, everything, soccer is one of the hardest sports there is. I don't like to play soccer myself, but I give the people a lot of respect because they're out there on the field running nonstop, day in and day out. Not only that, they're in Mexico, which is like one of the hottest countries there is. You know, and to get out there and do that and run around for an hour straight, they don't get breaks in soccer. They fight all the way to the end. You know, goals don't come easy in soccer like they do in basketball. You know, anybody, you see basketball, the scores get up to 80, 100 points with no problem. But imagine the amount of hours of running and practice and working out they put into scoring each and every one of those goals. It's definitely a lot more than I think the other sports. And I think you have to have the most endurance and strength to play the game of soccer. So that's why I'm standing in this corner.
How about a hand for that? Love it. Ready to go? You guys like move? Yeah. Right.
I can just talk loud. Everybody hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, for
The reason why we chose this picture, all sports aside, is because of the competition. When you look at all the pictures, like the Poe was saying, that's more like consolation, motivation type picture. This guy is helping out, you know, good sportsmanship, and they're celebrating. Competition in the upper left, they're fighting for what they want for. That's what competition's all about. It's about fighting for what you want, trying to strive for a better way to go about doing things and learning from it as you go. And as far as the pictures go, you know, sports, everybody's got their favorite sports. You can argue favorite sports, but as far as the pictures go, as far as competition is concerned, that one definitely shows the most. And besides that, this corner's got all the cool people in it.
Nice move, nice move.
What's your name?
Dave, go for it.
All right, in our picture, it's pretty obvious that someone's down. Yeah, someone got hurt. They're both opposite teammates. I mean, everyone in all these pictures, they're all competitors, but this one shows that, you know what, all sports aside, it doesn't really matter whether or not you win or you lose. It's about, you know, good sportsmanship. If someone gets hurt, you want to help them out. Always help the next person. It's camaraderie. It's not about winning the game. It's simply about, you know, having good fun and being an athlete and always helping the next guy out.
I want you to find a partner, and I want you to make up a handshake between you two. Make up a handshake, and then find your seat. Make up a handshake, find your seat.
Give yourselves a hand. Good one. You know, I'm teaching law at UH now, so you're more than invited. You're 4 lawyers. Real good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Anybody go to Catholic school here? Raise your hand. Okay. Citius, Altius, Fortius. In the old days, we learned Latin. Anybody know what that means? Huh? That's the Olympic motto. Is it fastest, highest, strongest? What's it mean, Scott?
Faster, higher, stronger.
Fast. So it's not fastest, highest, stronger. It's personal best, personal effort. So this is the Olympic motto. Okay, and so the motto of being a triple impact competitor, I'm going to invite you to think about. Only you can decide. Is making yourself better, right? Anybody here want to make themselves better? Yeah. The second one is making your teammates better. This community right here, your family, the community of Hawaii, and the world, right? Anybody want to do that? Okay, good. Lastly, making the game of life better, the life lessons. That's a little harder. When we teach this to high school kids, they're all about making themselves better, right? They want to look in the mirror, right? But I want them to make each other better, and the way you do it so well at Habilitat, and make the world a little bit better. Kiha talked about being a sponge. Young lady there mentioned when you filled up, you give it away, right? A sponge is, what about a sponge? It soaks up knowledge, right? We're going to talk a little bit about that. How do competitors make themselves better? What sort of things do you do to make yourself a better competitor? Anybody want to shout out what you do? What do you do? Practice, right, exactly. Practice, practice, practice. There's a book by Malcolm Gladwell. It's called Outliers, O-U-T-L-I-E-R-S. It says you got to get really good, you got to do something 10,000 times. That's a lot of times, right? So you practice, right on. Okay, somebody want to read this for me, nice and loud? We don't have the portable mic, do we? We'll use this. That's all good. Who's going to read this? Okay, go.
So many kids think they're great competitors because they growl the loudest or cuss the loudest. I define a competitor as the person who is the most often ready to play and win the next play. You've got to get the last play out of your mind, accept the part that educates you. The person who consistently is the most ready to win the next play is the person I want on my side of the net, not the growler. John Dunning.
Yeah, look what he won NCAA 2A championships, women's volleyball, at least 2 years in a row, right? Our boss at Stanford is Ruben Neves, who won a couple himself out of Stanford. So, what is the most important play in the game?
The next play.
Say again?
The next play.
Can you do something about the next play?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can bring your best, right? What about the last play? What can you do?
Nothing.
You can have a major pity party.
Learn.
Huh? Learn from it, right? So Kiha, you want to take us on this one, buddy?
Yeah, I want to say this. Everybody say this with me. I am not my history.
I am not my history.
One more time. I'm not my history.
I am not my history.
We just said that the most important play is the next play. It doesn't happen. Doesn't matter what happened in the last 2 years, last 10 years, last 20 years, what other people said about you, how you grew up. It doesn't matter. What matters is the next play. Are you ready for that next play? Because if you are sitting in your stuff blaming other people for what happened, that you just dropped the ball wasn't thrown to me in a good way, or that I don't have opportunity because I'm sitting on the bench. The question is, are you ready for the next play? All right, so here's what we want to do. We're going to redefine winner. Everybody knows winner to be the guy or girl who has the most points on the board. If I could only teach you one thing tonight, this should be close to the one thing that I would teach you. Because there's something else that's so juicy, I got to tell you about it. It's coming up. Winner. Most people know it to be the person who has the most points on the board, or the fastest time. We want to talk about, sorry, go back. Most points. People who are in sports, they're thinking about who I'm playing against. If I'm looking at the scoreboard definition, what we call the scoreboard definition, I'm worried about never making a mistake. I can't make any mistakes because then my team won't win. And we want to tell you that there is a whole different way to define winning. And we want to share that with you tonight. And it is a fantastic, fantastic secret. When I started living this way, and when I started coaching this way, squeezing my own sponge to people around me, great things started to happen. So let me tell you about it. It's called mastery. The mastery definition. Everybody say mastery.
Mastery.
It means, mastery means I'm about effort, giving my best effort every day, about learning at all times. I'm learning, always looking for a way to learn. And then the last thing is, mistakes are okay. I'm going to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, but I'm going to bounce back, right? I'm going to bounce back. So I might make a mistake. I got to pay a consequence, but I'm going to bounce back, because if I'm just going to sit and then feel sorry for myself, and then one inning goes by, and next thing you know, a game goes by, the ball comes up to me, I'm not ready. So we're looking at ways to teach you how to not only give great effort, but that you're learning all the time, learning, and that you have a way to bounce back from mistakes. Are you with me?
Yes.
All right. Here's the thing that I wanted to teach you. You guys, this is so good. Oh my gosh. I can't contain myself. Okay, so here's it goes. Everybody say Carol Dweck.
Carol Dweck.
Carol Dweck, D-W-E-C-K. She is a Stanford professor of the brain. Oh, that's a brilliant lady. And what she found out, what she's beginning to teach people, she's been teaching little kids, intermediate school, she's been teaching Ivy League medical students, right? And so she has all the students in one room, and she teaches half of them what I'm going to teach you. And then the other half, she doesn't teach them this stuff, she teaches them something else. But this is what happens over time. Their scores start to go up. The ones that learn this next thing, just shoot through the roof. Everybody else kind of just goes down the road. We call it fixed mindset or growth mindset. Really simple. She divides the world into two groups. One group is, and it doesn't mean, just because I'm pointing this side, doesn't mean that's you, okay? There is non-learners and there are learners. There is a fixed mindset, and then there's the growth mindset. Fixed mindset means, oh, shucks, I'll never be able to do that. I can't do that. Or she'll never be able to do that. I'm stuck. Are you with me?
Yes.
So then I've got growth mindset about, what? Wow, I'm learning something. It might be uncomfortable, but I'm trying again. Okay, let me give you 3 characteristics of each. For the non-learner. Get this is so cool. For the non-learner, this was me for sure. It's about looking good. I'm going to look good at all costs.
You want to represent.
I'm going to represent. I'm going to show everybody I'm talented, right? I'm the man. That's me as a non-learner. The second thing about a non-learner, they're only cruising. I'm a cruiser. I'm only going to do just enough to get by. And the last thing, if I have a setback or a weakness, as a non-learner, I'm going to hide it. I'm not going to show it. I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm going to run from it, in fact. You can see that? Right? All right. And then there are learners. Here's what learners are. They're about learning at every moment. They hear something that they hadn't learned before. They're like, what? That's great. Tell me more. They make a mistake and somebody says, you're wrong. They're like, really? Tell me what the right answer is. They're constantly looking to learn. The second thing that they do as learners or people with growth mindsets, they are about giving great effort every day. We say 3 E's, excellent effort every day. They're giving their best. The last thing is, as opposed on this side, remember about hiding my deficiency? If I got a weakness, I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to tell the truth about it. I'm going to put it out there for my brothers and sisters to talk about, to help me. So, get this. If I got spinach in my teeth, right? If I walked around, you guys, would you tell me I got spinach in my teeth? Yeah. And how good is it for me? Like, well, don't talk to him about my spinach in my teeth. What about you? I better have my teeth. No. Does that make sense? No. Does it make sense that I'll be hiding my thing? I want to be like, wow, thank you. Okay, like, is it over here? Is it on that side? Right? I just got spinach in my teeth. Now, should it be an issue for you if I got spinach in my teeth and I don't want to look at it? Should it be your issue? No, you can just love me and hang with me while I'm going through my stuff, right? Can you do that? Just hang with me, man. Can you just like walk with me while you go? Oh, that's okay. Just hang out with it, right? But if some of us take it personally that I don't want to receive from you, and then you start making it your issue, right? You start getting all hot because I got spinach in my teeth. What's up with that? All right, so we'll go back to, I got non-learners and learners. We'll switch it this side. We're going to go learners. Tell me the 3 characteristics of learners. Excellent effort. What else? They're learning every day. What else? I'm embracing them. I'm looking at them. I'm telling the truth about it. I'm getting help. I'm looking at it, right? I'm looking at it, right? On the other side, I'm about looking good. I'm about cruising. I'm going to hide, right? I'm going to hide. So let me just tell you real quick how this is so cool. I'm going to tell you how she did this. She put this brain cap on you, and it had a whole bunch of wires on you, right? She did it for the whole class. And then she asked a question, a simple question like, what's the capital of Australia? Anybody know? Sydney. Okay, hang on. So somebody says Sydney, right? And so here's what she's measuring with my brain cap. She's measuring attention. So now, is attention high right now? Yeah, everybody's wanting to know, is it right? If it is. Now, somebody said Sydney, and I go, wrong. Now, for a non-learner, what's attention? Goes down, right? Non-learners go down. And so she's measuring attention. She's just watching. Right after she said, no, it's wrong, she's just watching your brain. Are you one that's going to go down like, oh, shucks? Or are you like, really? Then what is it? Then what is it? So we're asking you, like, look at the way you guys are listening to me right now. I love it. You guys are, this is a room full of learners. You're like, really? What is it? Okay, it's not Sydney. What is it? Not Melbourne. Ooh, okay. Canberra.
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 It's like Carson City, Nevada. It's weird, huh?
Okay, so check this out. I just gave you 100 questions like that, right? 100 questions, and then when I'm done, check it out. I ask you, as a non-learner, what do you think about that test? What do you think about that test as a non-learner?
John.
Ball humbug. It's kind of a stupid test. Why are we learning all this stuff, right? Right? It's just crazy. But what would the learner say? Oh, hey, I learned something and thank you. Great, great. So what happens? Boom, surprise test. Do them again. And what happened? Non-learners? Still junk. Still junk, but what about the learners? And they got better scores. They got better scores. Are you seeing it? So we're saying, hey, you make a mistake, boom, like, what? Really? Tell me the answer. I want to learn more. So this is how it looks on the front of the page. She had 3 extra lines, and she said, give me a critique. Give me a critique about this test, right? So I can give it to the next group. And of course, we just said, the non-learner said, stupid test, waste of my time, I don't know what I'm doing.
Teacher's junk.
Right? And then the learner said, wow, I never knew that stuff. I learned so much more. This is the catch. She has one more small line on the front page, and she says, anonymously, I want you to put your score in that box. Okay? Put your score in the box. 78% of the non-learners put one score higher than their real score.
They lied. They lied.
78% of the non-learners put one score higher than their score. Why?
They want to look good.
It's about looking good, remember?
Representing.
It's about looking good. So here's the root of that study is non-learners cannot even tell the truth to themselves. Cannot even tell the truth to themselves. So we're saying, no, with this, what I just taught you, medical school, Ivy League students, like they're like chasing it. It doesn't matter what the test scores now. They're just learning and learning, and they're going way, they're just shooting off the charts compared to their other counterparts who don't know about learning.
When Coach and I learned this 10 years ago, we were coaching the old way, scoreboard, and it transformed the way we scored. Coach has coached 25 years of Kamehameha football. You know, and I've coached a few years myself. And when we learned, as anybody here, Johnny Wooden? 11 NC2A basketball championships. He said the team that makes the most mistakes will win because they learn during the tournament and they get better and better. The teams that don't make the mistakes stay the same. The worst thing you can tell somebody is you're smart, you're talented, you're handsome, because that means you don't have to work very hard, right? You can cruise, right, Kiha? You can cruise. Never tell somebody that, then they plateau. It's like disrespecting them. So she found out people with lower IQs, lower backgrounds, maybe in terms of money and education, went by these medical students and these junior high school students on fire because they had a growth mindset. Does that make sense? Yes. So that's really good news. It's exactly, Jeff, what the letter you wrote me.
When you walked into this place, not tonight, but onto these grounds, how many were uncomfortable? And what she said is, that's your brain growing. That's your brain growing. Get comfortable with it. Get comfortable with it.
You do 100 push-ups, your arm's going to be sore, right?
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Now, that's me. That's me, believe it or not. I'm 70 years old. 10 years ago, I was 60 years old. I've been a judge 21 years, and I got this growth mindset, mistakes are okay deal, and I started inviting people into court and watching them. And then when they're done, what would I ask them? What did I ask you, brother?
So he asked me, this is the senior most judge in the state, right? I witness what I witness, and then he takes me into the chambers, and I'm in awe. I just am in awe of what happened. And then he says, give me a critique. How can I get better? How can I get better? I mean, is that a humble attitude? Yeah. Well, how could it be that the guy who's the most knowledgeable, most senior, that's like the faster, higher, stronger guy, still wanting to get faster, higher, stronger. He's the fastest. He's still trying to get better. Every day he's looking to get better. Could we be that humble? Could we ask each other for that?
Now, I kind of thought it was cocky because I get free consultation from a guy that I've known. You know what I mean? But criticism is a gift. You know what I'm saying? Even though we take it as a slam. We're trained not to be criticized. But criticism is a gift. If that's the case, I'm a rich man. I've been married 43 years. And my wife knows how to tune me up. You know what? She loves me unconditionally. And so she feels comfortable giving me a shot, right? So I really want to emphasize that. Criticism is a gift, but it has to be gently said. Anybody speak Hawaiian here? Ho'olohipono, what's that mean? Listen with a courageous heart. Huh? Ho'olohipono. Yeah, listen with a courageous heart. It's really hard because you get defensive. You know, but I want to emphasize that. So making yourself better, this elm tree, the data shows in Olympic studies that you become less nervous because you can control your effort, right? Right? Yeah. You can control how much you're learning if you have this growth mindset. And if you make mistakes, that's a gift because everybody's going to make mistakes. Okay, so it's really important. No matter what the score, you're more confident. Couple tools here. We have, Jeff, we have a book here. I'll leave it with you, but it's not online. The group are with charges. So we're off the charts here today. But this book, this stuff is like having your own Leatherman. You know what a Leatherman is? Yeah. Swiss Army knife, Craftsman toolbox. These are tools of life that will make you more successful, and it's proven. Okay? Watch, ask, get coaching. Look what's going on. I was watching Kiha today. He's asking Jeff how many questions he's asking. And Jeff, you were coaching him up. Because he runs a large construction crew, and he also runs, he's a Levite at our church. So you're his consultant. Send him a bill. Okay, mistake ritual. A big one is flush. Now, Nick Rolovich, you know who he is? Yeah, was the O coordinator, or what was he?
Defensive coordinator.
Defensive coordinator for UH football. He has snap clear. You go like that? Try that. You make a mistake, you got to have a ritual. You can't just say, oh, no, he went to Judgetown and Coach Kiha said do this. You got to have some kind of a snap clear, shake it off, some kind of a mistake ritual. If there's nothing else I'm going to leave you with, have a mistake ritual. Some way to get past it. Every good athlete has it, all right? And you got to figure out one. Great players have the ability to flush mistakes during the game. That ability is like a new language, a new language. This simply was a mistake. Let's learn from it. Let's move on. Instead of what? Holding that mistake and saying, oh, I can't get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's normal. Okay? Particularly people that want to look good. Okay, Lance, Kurt Suzuki, now a professional baseball player. This team, was it Cal State Fullerton?
Yes.
Won the World Series. They were 15 and 16. One of our coaches for PCA taught them the flush ritual. Flush, flush. They had a little toilet, fake toilet in the locker room, and they went 32-4, won the World Series using a mistake ritual. That's how important it is. This is not just some new age thing. This works. And they put that in there. And there's Kurt. He now plays, I don't know if he plays the athletics. He's still with the athletics?
Yes.
Still with the athletics. Okay. Couple tools. If you're good at something that's working, that's plan A. Otherwise, you go plan B and plan C. They say professional athletes are on plan A 15% of the time. 85% of the time, they're on plan B and C. Anybody watch the game today at all? Yeah, you know, I mean, we saw. Did Dirk have a good game? No, he had a bad game, but his teammates brought it up. Great players have the ability to flush mistakes, and we already mentioned that. Okay, get ready routine. Kiha, what about a good get ready routine? What do you use with your kids?
Could you everybody stand up? Just take a stand. So, a get ready routine, all it is just in your best mind, say you pick the sport, doesn't matter the sport, and then I want you to get yourself ready to play whatever that sport is. So you got only 2 seconds, but so if I'm going to be playing football, right, and I just bumped out in a huddle, and how do I feel inside? That's what I want you to do, is just kind of for a second, just kind of like, how ready do you feel in that? All right? So I'm going to give you 2 seconds just to get ready, and you don't have to show me. You can get in position if you want. You don't have to, but I just want you to get to a place where you are ready. Like if we said, you know what, guys, you know all the time that you're supposed to spend in here for another year, 2 years, whatever. We're telling you right now, at 12 o'clock tonight, it's over. You can walk out. Oh, now how ready are you going to be? How ready are you going to be to like walk out right now, bring life? I'm ready. Let's go. See, that's what I'm talking about. Yep. You see the different energy? So it's going to give you 2 seconds, and I want you to kind of bring it. Okay? 1,001, 1,002. Let's go. Let's see. What's it look like? All right, give somebody a high five. Give somebody a high five. All right, find your seat. Thank you very much.
Second leg on the stool, so to speak, making ourselves better. We talked about redefining the growth mindset. We're going to talk about you all making each other better, because you can't do it on your own. I once put a professional boxer in prison for a very serious thing. I brought him back in because he was getting thumped, right? Professional boxer. I said, what happened? He said, I had to go to sleep. And I wasn't nice to the guys around me, so nobody watched my back. Follow me? We're all on the same team. In my life, family's forever, but that doesn't always work that way. Think about the best teammate you ever had on or off the field. What made him a good teammate? Huh? Somebody raise your hand. Think about a teammate. Yeah, in the back, please, sir.
Ambition. He was always there, you know what I mean? He was covering my back.
He was there, he had your back. Yeah. And you knew he had your back. It gave you, is that right?
Yeah.
Somebody else. That's good. Yes, sir.
Someone who challenges you to keep moving, doesn't accept, like, you know, makes you push yourself.
He believed in you. He wanted your very best. He didn't let you just slack, right? Somebody else? Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Ambition. He wanted to win, he wanted to play.
He wanted to win, he wanted to play, and he was a teammate, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, when you're down, he had your back. He didn't just stop when you're winning the gold. Yes, sir.
He was never scared. He was always ready to just charge in.
He charged, no scared, right? Okay, good. So that's really important. We define leadership as the ability to make those around you better. Okay? More productive. This is accessible to everyone, not just the most charismatic. That's the most electric one, or the best player. The definition is about how you carry yourself. We call that gravitas or leadership, and I can see every one of you has that leadership. Kiha and I were totally blown away by how you hold yourself. And we must have done this 100 times around the state. You're every bit as good as the coaches that we deal with. It's a requirement in our team. Every player possess leadership. Try to make those around him better and more productive. Jack Clark, Berkeley Rugby, 10 championships, okay? Now, when you're driving a car, does the car automatically fill up with gas? No. What happens? It automatically use gas? Yeah. That's how human beings are. As the day goes on, we sort of slowly wear out. And how are we going to keep that gas going in that car? You stop and fill it up. Now, if you're on a team, how are you going to get that filled up? Huh? Your teammates can only do so much yourself. So this is called filling the E-tank. We all have this. When it's empty, you perform poorly. When you're E-tank, we have an emotional tank. Yeah? Is anybody's tank full on full right now? Some of you halfway? Some of them a little, yeah, good. Some of them a little bit low. Yeah, I got up at 5 a.m. I didn't get my nap. Yeah? But I'm energized because you guys are here. So please understand that. So, and when your E-tank is empty, you don't do well. I'm here to tell you, we're human beings. You can't, okay, when our E-tank is full, fine. How do you fill it? Praise. And Jeff, I think we talked about this. The praise has to be specific and truthful. If I tell you good job, have you learned anything? It's an encouragement, but it's not much more. If I say, we were greeted today here, we were given a tour, guys are looking me right in the face and shaking my hand. I met some brothers and sisters that I hadn't seen in a while, and forgive me if I recognized you, but I did, and it made me smile, okay? It's a drain, you criticize, and I know that Habilitat's got, what do they call it, the game? Game, and that's a lot about criticism, but we're going to give you a few tips. As you interact with each other here, aside from the game, there's ways that you can keep your tank full, and you don't have to pay money. What is gas now? $4 a gallon? $5 a gallon? Yeah? Huh? $4.30. $4.30. When I was in Aotearoa, New Zealand, it was like $6 or $10. Woo! You have to get a mortgage to fill your car. But anyway, who's that? Peyton Manning. Does he have a full emotional tank, or does he have a low one?
Full.
He's a leader. He's lighting up the team. He's the quarterback. Every one of you can be a quarterback. Okay? So show appreciation. Sarcasm doesn't work. We've discussed that so many times. Sarcasm doesn't work. It's a form of hostility. It doesn't work. It really hurts, gives people sore hearts. Kids use it all the time. We do not allow it on our teams anymore. We used to. Very funny, you know, but it doesn't work. Okay? Listening is important. Is it, what's your first name? Claudette. Claudette. If I'm listening to you, I'm listening to you, right? I'm in the moment. If I'm like this, am I really listening? Not too much. You know, I'm 45, so I'm right there. So ignoring doesn't. If I'm talking to Jeff and he tells me something, yeah, I'll catch it later. You know, that's not respect. And you guys do a good job of that. Non-verbal, verbal. Kiha, you want to handle it? This is really important. This is another thing that I totally believe in.
This study came from Gottman, a guy named Gottman, who is a professor at the University of Washington. And he and his wife studied little kids, and then they studied married couples. And what they were looking at is where people are filling tanks, where they're positive with each other, where there's praise, where there is a true appreciation for each other. They call that a positive. And then on the other side, when there's a negative, where there's sarcasm or criticism, they measured that. And they found out that there's a ratio, that if you have this particular ratio of positives to negatives, that magic happens. That magic happens. So, can I challenge you for a second? So think about your own house where you grew up. Your own house. Like, what was the ratio in that house? Was it like a 1-to-1? Maybe a 0? You want to say? Yeah, go ahead. 2 to 1. So 2 positives to 1 negative. So you might say, hey, great job on the dinner. Okay, thanks for taking out the trash. How come you never make your room? Yeah. Right, okay, good. Anybody else?
Anybody else? Come on, share out a little bit.
Yes.
More like 1 to 5.
1 to 5. So you got
Yeah, 1 to 5.
1 positive and 5 negatives, right? How come you never do this? How come you didn't do this? What's wrong with this? You should do this. And then, well, you know, nice haircut. Something like that. All right? There are families that have 0 to 10, right? It's only negative in their house. But that's the past. Everybody say, in the past.
In the past.
In the past.
In the past.
Okay, so in the past, that's how it was, right? Nobody's telling me that I'm still my history. My future, my next play is my best play, right? So what we want to tell you is that in a 5-to-1 family, in a 5-to-1 atmosphere, and I get that it's 5-to-1 here. When I'm walking on, you know, people are shaking my hand, people looking at me, that's 5-to-1. When I ask a question, when people jump up and raise their hand and they're willing to answer, that's a positive for us.
It doesn't have to be verbal, it can be non-verbal. Looking at me, Curtis, you know, shaking my hand, all that kind of stuff over the course of time, right? It's also had to do with good marriages and good teachers, which you've got here.
Are there people who are married here? All right, so let me just tell you, here's the other part of the history other part of the study that we found is that in a 1-to-1 marriage, that marriage failed. Oh, crazy, huh? So begin to be people who fill tanks. I mean, you already are that. But continue to be around, you want to be around people who are kind of loving you and caring for you and giving you a high five and complimenting you. Is that true?
Yeah.
Coach?
It has to be authentic, though. It shouldn't be just as, you know, we don't hold hands, sing kumbaya, eat granola. You know? It's got to be real within our culture, within our age, and how we approach it. So as long as it's authentic, it works. 5-to-1 magic happens. You know, so I don't expect you to switch that overnight. But take a look here. Phil Jackson. We asked Phil. He's on our board. He's our national spokesperson, Phil Jackson. Hey, Phil, do you do that, coach, with Kobe? Absolutely. He said over the course of a week he does it. If you look up there, there's 5 real nice ones, and then he's chewing his butt up in the upper right hand, okay? This is important stuff. Is mine working, Kiha? Oops, sorry. I'm backed up. Oops, sorry, Kiha.
Okay.
Hard to see from back here. How you guys doing? Good. We're going to move you around. We're going to do the Ring Tanaka special. So be a tank filler if you can, and have other people fill your tank. That way, whether I drive an old Subaru, it's going to outrun an Escalade, a Porsche, any day in terms of keeping the emotional tank full. This is real. It's studies. These studies have been replicated in marriages and in teaching. Okay, can you buy that? You say 5 to 1? 5 to 1. Okay, try it out. Doesn't work? Maybe 6 to 1, maybe 4. We think 5, magic happens. And we hear it all the time. Mirror versus window. I coach kids. They want to know, when do I get to play? Playing time. When am I going to get out of prison? When do I get out of Habilitat? It should be about the people around you, not just you. Not just looking in the mirror. I was with a guy today. He runs that big development out there at Kapalama, and he had to redo it. I can't remember the name of the developer. Mike Jones. Jonesy said, we really screwed up the first submission. So we went back and redid it. And I said, why'd you redo it? He said, looking in the mirror, I don't get any more handsome. He had to do the hard work to redo it. So try to look through the window. Follow me? Yes. If I'm looking in the mirror, can I see you, Jeff? No way, man. I don't want to look in the mirror anyway. I'm old. But if I look through the window, I can see you. And then you're on my team. You got that? Really important stuff. Window statements. Can I give you a suggestion? Yes. I have a wish for you. You want to hear the wish? Yes. Yeah. I wish that you all would support each other as teammates here and continue to do what you're doing. Here's something I noticed. Can I give you a little bit of feedback? Yes. Huh, Claudette? Yeah. And you know, criticism's a gift. I'm a rich man. I get criticized all the time. Watch number 8. She's going to the left. Good hustle. Specific kinds of stuff. Okay. Let's roll to honoring the game here.
Okay, so before we do that, I want you to stand up, please. Everybody stand up. Turn to your left. Okay, give somebody a massage right in front of you. Give it right in front. Turn to your left and massage there, guys. Right there. Nice and hard. Give it to them. How about a little bit of pounding now? Pound it. All right, turn the other way. Let's do it the other way. Pound it out. Pound it out. All right, grab a seat. We're about making the game better. So we already talked about I'm gonna do my best to make myself better. I'm gonna start doing my best to make my teammates better. We're about making the game better right now. There's a guy here who on this wall right here. Everybody know this guy? What's his name? Vinny. He wasn't only thinking about himself. He wasn't only thinking making, you know, a couple of teammates. He said, I'm going to make the game better. He started this place, and look, he gives us chance. He gave us a chance because he was willing to change the game, right? Anybody heard of, anybody see this before? It's kind of an odd picture. I'll tell you the story.
Some guys have heard it here, they say.
There's a a college softball game between a team from Oregon and a team from Washington, right? The girl gets up and she hits her first home run ever in her life. She hits a home run and it brings a couple of runs home, right? As she's running around first base, she misses first base. So she turns around to go touch first base and she blows out her knee. She blows out her ACL. So now here's what happens. She hits the home run, it goes over the fence, but to make it count, you got to touch every base to come all the way around. So her teammates want to help her, but the ump says, any of her teammates touches her, then she's out. So then they say, okay, well, we'll put in a pinch runner. And they say, if you put in a pinch runner, it's then only a single. Right? So then what? The first baseman says, Well, how would it be if I helped her?
For the other team. Marty Holtman. Is that it?
Mallory.
Mallory.
Mallory, the first baseman says, well, what if I helped her? And the umpire didn't even know what to say because he never seen that before. And so Mallory, the first baseman, and another player carry this girl around the bases. True story. Touches first, touches second, touches third, brings her home, and that team loses. They help the other team beat them. How's that? It ain't about the game, right? He elevated the game. Check this out. Mallory, in the next couple of days, she's on Good Morning America. People asking her, whoa, what was that about? And she tells them, well, you know, this is what I just thought good sportsmanship was about.
And what's the word? It went viral.
It went viral.
It went viral. Millions of people watched this. Okay? And now, Mallory, we call that a Mallory moment. In your life, there are Mallory moments. There are small moments. You need to publicize them. Habilitat's a place of change. I bet there's more Mallory moments here daily than any place in Hawaii. But you got to publicize them. Now, Mallory, the gal, the first base woman, she got the job as the coach of the team, and her coach stepped down because he was time to retire, and he said he gave her a full cupboard of players and energy and positivity. She beat out 53 other applicants, right, Coach? So
here's the point, is what Coach is saying is, at some point, you're going to have a Mallory moment. Are you ready? So like we asked you folks some questions, right? And there are people who raised their hands and immediately were willing to share. I'll tell you a quick story. I coach football. I tell my guys, be ready. I can't tell you how to be ready, you just got to be ready. I had a guy that I kept because he was really extra careful. He was small. He was the smallest guy on the team. But he continued to give great effort every day. Gave great effort. Every day he asked me, Coach, what about this? Can you help me with this? Hey, what can I do to improve? And I just said, hey, keep being ready. Keep being ready. I couldn't put him in the games because we've been, you know, it was tough and tight games. Well, here's what happened. One day, we were playing at the Aloha Stadium, one night, and it's a punt, and we're punting, and only 10 guys go on the field. And how many guys need to? 11. Joseph, right, little petite 5'2" guy, runs onto the field. He runs onto the field because he's ready. The other coach is like, what? I'm like, it's cool, coach, he's in. So he's on the far left-hand side. The punt goes off. Joseph is running down. He's seeing the ball. He's looking at the ball, running. And right after the other team catches the ball, Joseph blows him up. Causes a fumble. Yeah, we recovered a fumble. The guy is a hero. I'm telling you, you're going to have a Mallory moment. Are you ready? Will you be ready? I can't tell you where that's going to be. But you got to be ready for the next play. You can't be like feeling sorry for yourself because you made a mistake, this or that, you know, whatever happened in the past. Will you be ready for your Mallory moment? It's just around the corner, guys. I promise you, if you're ready, you will make a play. The game's going to get better. The people around you are going to get better. People might hear about it. It might be on TV. It might not. But you just made a play.
Anybody have a Mallory moment here? Anybody want to share one? Jeff, you see him a lot, I guess, don't you? Transformation?
Yeah, we see lots of transformation.
Yeah, transformation. Give yourself permission and publish it if you can. We're all shy about being bragged about, but it's going to inspire other people. We have an acronym. Remember you saw ELM back there, effort, learning, and mistakes, back in making yourself better. And then we have the E-tank and the 5-to-1. We're on the third leg of the stool here, making the game better, roots, and respect for the rules. Okay, refuse to bend the rules to win. Kiha, do you think we can get people up on this?
Let's
How do you want to
Let's
do
do
it?
it.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
we're here. We'll give our best.
Bring it, brother.
Is that all right?
We're going to get you up again. Go ahead.
Hang on a second. Wait. Just take a seat. I'm going to do it in a second. I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story. Here it goes. Anybody related to Ren Tanaka? Local boy Ren Tanaka?
Mid-pack.
Ren Tanaka played golf at mid-pack, standout golfer, went to Gonzaga University, right? Made the golfing team, got a scholarship. He's down south in the Western Regionals, playing against the UCLA's, USC's, and Pepperdine in the Western Regionals. Get this, on his practice run, this is golf for some of us who don't know golf, they give you a practice run. So he's practicing, he's playing, and he loses his ball. Can't find his ball, pulls out another ball, plays through. You know, it's a practice run, no problem, right? Next day, they play their first round of 2 rounds. And their team, at the end of the day, they're in second place. They're in second place. Second day of the 2 rounds. They play, Ren gets up, hits a ball in about the same place that he was in before when he lost his ball. He lost another ball. Lost the ball, finds his ball, plays it, right? Finishes the round with a 2 under 70. Right? But as he's turning in his scorecard, he sees the letters on the ball says GU2.
Gonzaga University 2.
GU2. But he was playing a GU3. What happens if you hit the wrong ball? Anybody know? So somebody says penalty, somebody said disqualified. Here's what's going to happen right now. Here we go. You guys ready to play? Yeah. You are now Ren. You're Ren. And I say, nobody else in the whole world knows. Right?
Only you know.
Only you know. You can turn that ball in. Right? Your team doing really good. Got a chance to go on to the national championships. If you would just turn the ball in, not say anything, then I want you to come and stand in this corner. Okay, in this front corner, right-hand side. If you would like to ask your teammates what you're going to do, because it's a team game. It's a team game. Everybody's score counts. So if you're going to ask your teammates what you should do, then I want you to stand in that back right-hand corner. If you are going to ask the referees for a 2-stroke penalty, honest mistake, right? Honest mistake. Hey, I just mistakenly hit this ball, right? It's my ball, but I just mistake. 2-stroke penalty. You want to ask for a 2-stroke penalty, go stand in that corner over here. And if you decide to turn your ball in and say, oh, okay, I'm disqualified, then I want you to stand in this front corner. Everybody with me? Okay, so if you're not just gonna let it play, nobody else knows, the kind of talk is like, what is it? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? You guys heard that story? Some of you guys lived that story? All right, if it's going to be like that, come up front to the far right. If you want to, what goes in that back corner? You can ask your teammates what goes in that corner. Yeah, you can ask the rest of your 2-stroke penalty. And if you're just going to disqualify yourself, come up to here. Ready, go. So kind of gather up and you look at each other again. We're going to do the lawyer thing again. Point to your lawyer spokesperson on 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, would you stand? Please stand your lawyer on a chair. Stand your lawyer on a chair. All right, here we go. Coach, you want to take this?
Okay, can you hear me? Clap once. Okay, Kevin, which group are you?
The team that disqualified themselves.
Okay. Why would you do that? Convince them to change if you can.
Okay, I think the reason we chose this group is because, for one, we're taught that honesty is the only policy here in Habilitat and also in life, that we're taught to be honest with the decisions we make in life, especially ones that could alter the course of our life. And so I think that's the reason why we chose it. We believe that that is following the rules, and we learn to adhere to the rules, which is something we have different time doing all our life.
Give him a hand. Good job. Mark?
Okay, Mark, you're our in-house lawyer.
I'm standing in this corner because...
Can you tell us what that corner is, please?
This corner is if I would not tell anybody about the ball.
Just win.
And me, I'm thinking to myself, it was a tough one, but you know, this is before Habilitat, not after. I gotta be honest with myself, and I'm not proud of my decision. I think my teammates would appreciate it if they never know.
I want to acknowledge Mark's honesty here, because what does go on in Vegas stays in Vegas, and you won. Maybe the ball's only a foot away, but even though you didn't really earn it, the question is how you feel later. Okay, who's next, Kiha? What's your name?
My name's Brad.
Brad.
Yes.
Say it, brother.
My name's Brad. We picked that we have to consult the team. The reason being that once you're part of a team, you're part of a democracy, and it's not exclusively your decision to make at that point. So you have to go, put it to a vote, can see what the basic consensus is, and go from there.
Can you stand up, please, Mark?
Brad.
Sorry, Brad?
Yeah.
I just want to ask, so if your team said, hey, just be quiet, nobody knows, just turn the ball in, you would go along with that?
I'd have to. I'm part of that team.
All right, thank you very much.
Oh, they want guys to go up there, Kia. There's some lobbying. Here you go. What's your name?
My name is Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Honesty is policy, definitely, but I would, take accountability, let them know, I made a mistake. It's an honest mistake, and I still want to win, though. I still want to win. So I'm going to take the penalty and follow whatever else happens.
Okay, give somebody a high five and find your way to your seat. And while you make your way back to your seat, can you hear me?
Where were you? Discuss it with your team.
Making your way back. Can you give another high five to somebody? Okay, so we want to tell you what happened.
True story. Listen up. True story.
We want to tell you what happened. You guys are going to love this. So this is what happened. Ren turned himself in, turned the ball in, and said, I disqualify myself. And so this is the rule is, if you hit a ball that's not your ball, or even if it was your ball 2 days ago, it's not your ball considered that day, you're disqualified. So he turns himself in, and he goes to his team. Now, if you were the team, how would you receive me? Yes, please.
At first, I'd probably be really pissed off, and then I would take time to look at the whole, how it happened, where it went wrong, and understand the story. But at first, I'd probably be really pissed.
So she'd be pissed. All right. So thank you. That's honest. Anybody else want to say how you would receive me? Yes.
I would take this as, by doing the right thing and being honest about it, and by doing that maybe the good karma would come back around, and hopefully I would have one of those Mallory moments.
Nice. Oh, I love it. Yeah, good. I like that.
You know what? Just a game. Just do it again. You can always play again.
There's always another day. If this is not the end of your life, be upfront, be accountable, and good. Thank you, Owen.
So you would receive me, Owen. You would say, hey, no problem. You're still my teammate. You wouldn't made me go sit in the back of the bus or anything like that. All right, here's what happened in real life. Gonzaga teammate said, that's us. We're men of integrity. We don't cheat to win. We don't cheat to win. Okay, so that's what happened. Wait, it gets better. They go back home to school, and the university, they completely embrace him. They start writing stories. It's in the newspaper. They're like, yep, that's us. We're men and women of integrity at Gonzaga University. We're proud to be a part of this school, and we're proud that Ren would represent us that way. Right? Gets better. Gets out on ESPN, Sports Illustrated. Everybody's hearing about it now. Fortune 500 companies are calling Ren Tanaka and saying, I want you to come work for me. You got a job when you graduate, doesn't matter the major, you got a job with us. Because if you got that kind of integrity, you got that kind of character, we know that's the kind of people we want to work for us.
Thank you, Kiha. Whoops. It's going to advance on me. Might have to loan me here. Oh, I went too fast. Sorry. We're in the backstretch. Okay. Respect for rules. That's Ren Tanaka. He respected the rules of payoff. It may not pay off right away. It may not be the big super Mallory moment. You may get your teammates down on you, but you know in your heart you did the right thing, right? Right. Moral courage is when people are not watching what you do, because you know. It's really important, okay? Opponents, fierce and friendly. If you played a team that was really junk, would the win feel very good? No. And if you play a close game and you lose, that's okay, because there's one of two things. You win or you lose. So the opponents, look at the Williams sisters. They play each other fierce and friendly, right? All right. Officials, you show respect even when you disagree. And I can see that you understand that. So we've got to take care of the officials. Teammates, never embarrass your team. And I'm sure, Jeff, everybody knows when they're out somewhere, they represent Habilitat at all times. Oh, yeah. It's the same with judges. Oh, yes. One corrupt, bad judge drags us all down. One poor coach. You know, we need to represent in a positive way. Self, live up to your own standards, even when others don't. I teach the men's group at New Hope Diamond Head. It's called Men's Fraternity, and it's really an important thing. People will get into mischief with others, and then who are they going to blame? Their peers, right? They're not going to blame themselves. I'm on the paroling authority now, responsible. I put guys in the front of the prison. Now I'm guarding the back door and figure out who gets out. But what I want to hear is I goofed, I'm sorry, I'm accountable, and I'm going to do my best not to come back. Not, the cop beat me up, and the judge was crooked, and the prosecutor framed me, and the jury's no good, and my parole officer was rotten, and I got all these incident reports. You know what I'm saying? Very important to me. Takes moral courage to honor the game. Moral courage is standing up for what's right, even when others disapprove. Okay. Couple tools. Thank the people around you. It's not that hard. Just as you do. Look them in the eye and thank them. Appreciate them. Shake hands with your opponents, with everybody on your team, on the other team. It's really, really important. What else can you do? Okay, little self-assessment here. I'll leave this with you, Jeff, but most kids, personal mastery, they will try real hard to make themselves better because it's all about them. You understand that? Usually it's at about a 9 or a 6 or a 7. Leadership, making the teammates better, usually it's in the middle. People try real hard, making the game better. Most people don't trust government, don't trust the game of life. So, but you got to make your own assessment, figure out where you are realistically, and then try to improve it. Can you help me with that? Yeah. This is a triple impact competitor. This has been scientifically proven to work. So it's like 3 legs on a stool. All right. What would you take back? I guess, Jeff, now's the time to do, if they have any questions or if you have any reflections, making yourself better. We discussed the elm tree, watch, ask, get coached, mistake ritual, ABC plan, and the combating choking. Remember we did the bouncing. making the teammates better, filling the emotional tank. That's huge for me. Kiha loves the growth mindset, as do I. The E-tank, mirror versus window, and then the game, the roots, personal, thanking the officials. So, Jeff, I think we're at the back end here. I just want to challenge you all, talk about this, turn it over, shake it, taste it, feel it, see what works, and apply it. Not because we said so, because it's in your heart. At the end of the day, there is a book of life, and how you do from here on forward. You can't do anything about the past. It's written in that book, and I hope that each of you will be proud of what's in the book. Jeff, anything you want to
Questions,
wrap up?
comments?
What's that, Jeff?
Does anybody have questions or comments?
Yeah, questions. Kiha and I love pushback, believe it or not. You gotta have something. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I think this was a really good activity for us. Like that's how we need to look at each other, like as a team. Like for us, like sisters, like look at each other as a team. We're all team players, and like when when one falls, pick them up as soon as they fall, and all of us stick together. And that's what they teach us here also. Like everything that you taught us, like that's what we learn here, and it's kind of amazing that it's like the exact same thing that they teach us here. But I think it was a very, very brilliant idea, and that's each and every single one of us are team players, and that's how we have to. And I think we should even come up with a team name for ourselves.
We have a team name. what team name?
I don't know.
Good. Thank you. I appreciate that. There's a principle called simultaneity that many times people operating in separate systems come up with the same ideas because they're common sense. Okay? Anything that really stuck in your heart or any pushback? Let's hear. Yes, sir.
I really love the 5 to 1.
Like 5 to 1.
If you're going to sit there and criticize someone, make sure you're building them up.
Yep.
You do way more, pointing out their good points, and then when you smoke them, as we call it, you also are giving solutions.
So you're standing, you're looking at me, you're giving me 5 to 1, you're speaking clearly. Before you smoke them, you can lift them up a little bit. Smoke them worries me a little bit, but never mind. It's okay.
We couldn't hear what he said.
Oh, what's your first name again? Dan? Dan said he loved the 5 to 1 because we need to lift our brothers and sisters up, specifically tell them some encouragements, maybe non-verbally. Then you smoke them. Right? It's like, Dan, can I give you a little feedback or have a wish for you? Make them buy into it a little bit. I understand the game thing, and that's okay. That's part of the culture here. But on a daily basis, what Bill does it with Kobe, I paid $100 million, but it works because we're human, right? Yeah, sir.
I really liked how you said you accept criticism, and that's what makes you rich. How you ask for feedback on what you can improve on, because I've noticed that the moment somebody tells you you're doing fine or you yourself think you're doing fine, everything plateaus, if not drops a little bit. You have to constantly know what you need to improve on to become better, faster, and stronger. I really liked hearing that.
You got it, brother. Thank you.
Right on.
Yes, ma'am.
I really like the gas tank model because, I don't know, I've used this a lot in my life. And when I was talking to some people about it, like I start feeling like I'm low and like sputtering, and I talk to my family, and there are a lot of times that what builds it right back up. And I noticed that, like how he was just saying about the criticism, like as long as I'm able to take positive criticism as well as along with the bad, it helps, like, it goes back and forth. And I don't know, it's just kind of crazy how you brought up the gas tank model, because I used that, and I've used it before you even spoke of it. So I don't know, that just stuck out in my mind, and it helps to like use all these sisters, like, because they help build you up, and then, they're going to tell you where you fall short as well, but I don't know, so it goes kind of back and forth, yeah?
What's your name?
Ashley.
Yep. So, and Ashley, if they're not doing it right, what you can say is, let me understand it a little better. Let me try to reframe it. You can help them, and then they're going to start pouring into you. Kiha speaks fluent Hawaiian. We call it Ha'iola. We want to speak life into people. And you can speak life even in a critical way. You can pour into someone in a positive way, just as much as dumping on them.
Yeah, exactly.
And so what you say is very strong. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was real good to meet you because I spent most of my adult life in a system. I've always had this, when I think of judges or people on a parole board, it's real good to see a personal side of you. I think especially for a lot of people here, you see someone who's actually on the parole board, someone who's a trial judge. It's good to see this side of people like that. You know, gives me a different look at what you are and what you do.
So I left my black muumuu at home. I left my koa hammer at home. No. In 31 years of being what's your name, sir?
My name is Michael.
Michael, good name, Michael. I never pounded my gavel one time in 31 years. I didn't need to because I felt like I just wanted to pour into people. And I put a lot of guys in jail for life, for murder. But that comes with the territory. Thank you, Michael.